We were just discussing hands before the segment began, off air. We really need an intro to your segment.
Talk to the hands. We need a big choir. That's what we need, like a big 80-person choir.
I'm perhaps wondering if any of our listeners, and I'm pretty sure the answer will be yes, if any of our listeners are in the Southern Gospel Choir.
Oh yeah.
I really think it's an opportunity for a just that scintillating introduction that you deserve, Hands.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do that. Give us a call if you're in that Southern Gospel Choir.
Make contact with us. Andrew Legge, if you're listening, we need to talk to you.
We do. Now, Hans, of course, Father's Day just a couple of days away.
It is, yes.
We'd like to talk about dads today.
You looking forward to the celebration yourself, are you, Scotty?
I am. It's kind of it's a multi-celebration this week. My wife turned 40 yesterday.
Wow.
40.
That's young.
See that? Did you hear that, Joe? Joe, did you hear that?
I got such vitriolic feedback about what I said yesterday. I'm refraining.
Do you know what some of my friends said about you yesterday?
What's that?
They said every time like it's a big 40 or 50, you go, well, that's a big number. And they reckon I should record all of those. And then when you turn 40 next year, I play you back 10 minutes of, well, that's a big number.
Fantastic.
Whoa, we're so old.
What people seem to think, though, is that that's going to somehow get through my defences and upset me. I actually really enjoy that.
You love that.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Father's Day.
Yeah. How important are fathers? Well, tell us about the role of a dad.
Yeah, I can talk about the role of fathers. Now, the best gift a father can give to their children is a very good marriage, actually. And so if he's a very good husband and he's in a secure relationship with his wife and the children see that mum and dad are happy, that's a great gift you can give to children.
Wow.
Because they'll feel secure.
Okay.
So the best thing a father can do is be a great husband to mum.
So this is more so than restoring a Mustang or a Tirana in the garage?
Most definitely. Your children will love it. They just love it when mum and dad get on. You know, when there's friendliness, when they talk to each other, when there's affection. And the father actually then models for the children how to be a great husband.
Oh wow.
Particularly for the sons, you can say.
But that's all fair and good to say, but it takes work.
Definitely.
It takes work. It takes sometimes eating a whole bunch of pride and all that sort of stuff. it's work, isn't it? It
is. But any relationship, if you want to do it well, is definitely hard work. But it's the best investment you can make in life because you'll have long-term fruit from that.
Nice. You'll
feel good about that at the end of your days.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good relationship. Now, the next thing is, to be a good father is you need to be a good model. You see, the child looks at the father and that's normal. So whatever dad does is normal because he regards dad as being normal. And often he will copy his father. So children copy the father. You rarely get a father who's in his 30s with, say, a 12-year-old son or in the mid-30s, and one is barracking for Geelong and the other one's barracking for Essendon.
Yeah.
The kid barracks for the same team as dad.
Well, especially when your dad says to them, look, you do have a choice which team you go for. You can go for the Sydney Swans or you can move out of home.
Can I tell you, Ed, Stevie Franklin, one of our great friends, rocks up at church the other day and he's got his kids dressed in the wrong coloured clothing already. Another good mate of mine, Jade Grice, turns up. He's got his little Max dressed in an Essendon jersey, and I think Max is all of 3. I'm not sure that that's appropriate to force your child
to brainwash them
into supporting a certain team.
It's just wrong.
No, but what you're saying is, see, the father and son, they often do things together like that. They share that. That's a good thing, actually.
Yeah.
But also, the father is a model for the child. So if the father can model calmness, if he can be somewhat clever, if he's caring, if he's knowledgeable, those sort of things, then the child will copy the father because he will see that as normal behaviour.
Right.
But if the father's angry, intense and defensive, then he'll think that's normal behaviour and he'll copy it. And so it's amazing how much we learn from our dads.
It's a little frightening to hear that as a dad, I've got to say. Sometimes you want them to model your behaviour, but a lot of the time you really don't. You really don't.
Okay, now the other thing I want to say is that it's good for fathers to engage with their children and not to wait until they're a little bit older. What you often find is that fathers tend to wait until they're a little bit older. I would suggest a good way, as soon as a child comes out of the womb, get fathers engaged in the bringing up of your children and every part of it. And then there won't be any surprises when they become teenagers or somewhat older, because sometimes fathers go, what's happened to my son? Or the fathers who say, what's happened to my son, are the fathers who haven't actually been engaged with the child right along.
Yeah.
And so there's no surprises for the father who's engaged with his children right along. And particularly with daughters too. I think it's very important that fathers build a strong relationship with daughters, because often that's easier for the mother. It's a bit harder for the guys, but if they build up strong relationships with their daughters in particular, they will be, they'll just see the daughters grow and they just love them, and daughters are very good at loving fathers. I've got quite a few myself. What I did actually, I decided to create a dad and father story. So I took them overseas, just me and the girls, for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Just to create a father-daughter story where dad and the daughter did something together.
I love it.
And you know, 3 or 4 years later, we still talk about
Yeah,
this
that's good.
journey that
That's
we did
great,
together,
Hans.
just to engage, because I really wanted to create this father and daughter. And so what you do is you try and create stories.
Mm.
You know, dad's this or dad's that, dad's done
So
that.
it is very intentional too, isn't it? It's intentional.
Yeah, you got to actually decide, this is important, this is what I want to do. I want to create stories so that my kid, when he grows up, can say, you know what my dad did, you know what my dad was like, you know, so the kid's actually a little bit proud of their dad.
I love it.
And it's up to you guys. It's not that hard actually. It's
Mm.
just about deciding to engage with your children.
Good
Mm.
stuff. Hey,
You know,
thank
one
you,
of my
Hans.
favourite things, Hans, just to add a little more weight to what you've said, not on quite a grand scale as an overseas trip, but I love taking my little Harriet out on a date.
Good idea.
Oh, I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And she says things to me that I would probably never hear her say otherwise. We're sitting down over a little hot chocolate and a baby chino, whatever the case is,
Very
and
good.
we just talk.
Yep. And I tell you what, that's been a good dad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you, Hans. As
Pleasure.
always, we've loved our chat with you.
Yeah. And I hope you guys have a happy Father's Day.
And
Thank you, sir.
We'll see. Are you getting some socks? For Father's Day. Is that what you're going to get?
I need ties.
Big ties. All right, we're onto it.
I'm trying to 6'5".